it faded till I'm gone, dude. I do what I want, couldn't stop me if you wanted to. I just work hard, yeah, harder than the rest. Some people say I'm lucky, others saying that I'm blessed. But I keep my head down, cause I crave progress. You ain't never gonna stop me, cause it's my conquest. And I'm never gonna rest, yeah. And y'all don't know that I'm a soldier. I always felt like I'm alone, yeah. When everybody thinks they know, yeah. And y'all don't even know I own, yeah. And now I'm ready taking over, cause every day I'm getting closer. Just look at everything I'll show ya. And now I'm ready, I'ma blow up. Yeah. To the point I throw up, and if you cross me, it was good to know ya. I'm impatient, I don't ever slow up. I stay young, no, I never grow up. I keep working to the point I throw up, and if you cross me, it was good to know ya. Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. I'm not the type to take no for an answer. I don't deal with people that are like a cancer. No, instead I hang with the people that enhance ya. And I'm not the type to give out second chances. I just wanna work.
We are live. That's right, boys and girls. Welcome back to another episode of Tackle Talk. Sorry I'm running late, guys. Parental involvement time. You know, you got to make the school board meetings and things like that. Can you imagine seeing this coming into school board meetings, dude? Oh, it's the best feeling in the whole world. You guys have no idea. They actually like me, and it's funny. It's funny that I say that because I'm sometimes not the easiest person to get along. I have a tendency to voice my opinion, and that can sometimes lead to awkward situations. But nonetheless, you know, I do what I got to do. Let's give a shout out to the chat. Let's see who we got in here tonight. Of course, we got Kristen J right here, Shawanda. We got Mark Pop. It's Pappas, just so we're square. I apologize, Mark. Mark Pappas in the house. Who else we got? I saw a couple other people earlier. Let's scroll over here and see who we got here. Hold on. All right, Robert Sharp. Look at that. All right, we're going back to the top. What have you guys been doing, man? What's new? What's life looking like? How's your mums? Everything's been exciting in my world, you guys. Tonight we have got some updates. We have got some good stuff going on. Oh, look at Kristen said, hey. What's up, guys? Oh, my goodness, you guys. Are we ready for this? I didn't really have a topic tonight's conversation. Kind of just wanted to hang out with you guys in here, you know what I mean? Talk about some fishing, you know, maybe talk about what's new. Got like a few updates. Let me get this chair in the right place, you guys. I'm not set up. I ran home all expediently. I had updates all day on the computer, and if it wasn't the computer, I was going through emails, and then magically I'm like, oh yeah, tonight's my night. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Oh, I gotta go. So right after I made a thumbnail and then got all that stuff set up, I started wandering around, right? And next thing you know, I realized I got like real legal stuff this evening, you know what I mean? Like, I can't come in here and play with you guys just yet. I got to go do IRL stuff. So I went and handled the IRL stuff, you know what I mean? What's going on, Bass Queen? It's been a minute. Look, you guys, Bass Queen. Oh, there she is. She's down right down here. Yeah, so that was not good times, but nonetheless, you guys, we're back. We're live. We're doing it. 7:45. How was everybody's Halloween? If you wanted to know who I was for Halloween, I'll just have everybody know that it involved a black hoodie, a baby doll's head, and a flesh-colored skull cap. Just if anybody can throw in the chat who I was with a black hoodie, a baby doll's head affixed to the neck area, and a flesh-toned bald head cap, you can totally know what I was doing this Halloween. There's no guessing to it. There's no guessing to it. What were some of you guys doing this Halloween? Throw it out. Let's see. What do you guys do? Who was who? Who was what this Halloween? Let's talk about that before we even get into story time. Did nobody participate in Halloween this year? Was there a big Halloween boycott that I don't know anything about? Or do we got like super slow on the chat side here? Like something froze up? Had 0 trick-or-treaters. Kristen J, are you telling me you put the porch light on? Did you make it so scary that the kids didn't want to walk up? See, that's the thing. There is such a thing. For those of you guys that caught Bobby Lee's live last night, if you didn't catch Bobby Lee's live, I'm just gonna tell you, you definitely want to catch that. It was epic. It was probably one of the best Bobby Lee live Halloween editions you've ever seen. I mean, he broke out kung fu. It was awesome, you guys. It was really awesome. So I'll tell you, I think we all kind of missed out on that one last night. Hold on a minute. So guys, I don't know what you guys are thinking, but I'm thinking story time. That's right, boys and girls. I'm thinking story time. Did I even change that? Did I change that? I don't know what I did. I don't even know what's going on right now. There's all kinds of stuff. My buttons are still jacked up. I'm bad at this, you guys. I'm so bad. No, I'm just kidding. I'm all right at this, man. I just got to give myself a little time during the day to set in with you guys and do some stuff and get all my buttons right. Smallwater says, sitting in the cafe at the end of the dirt road in Donkeyland, getting ready to throw down. Boy, that sounds good. Throw down on some dinner, or are you having after dinner refreshments? Good to see you, Smallwater Charters. Bass Queen says, recovering from a fishing trip to North Dakota visiting my son. That's awesome. Kenny, what's going on, bud? 38, Kenny, 38. Food time. This guy, 38 fish. I'm telling you, John, you have got the magic this time of year, buddy. You got the magic, but that's okay because we're going to do a little boat update tonight. 10 at 4 pounds, John. That's not a bad day, bud. I mean, honestly, if you can stick 4-pounders, you know what I mean, like back to like within the same couple an hour, throw in some dinks, couple of 4-pounders. It would have been gravy, John, if you threw like an 8.5 on top of that, bud. I would have probably called it on that day. Guys, I have not been fishing. I have not been doing too much. I've been so slammed up between work and then getting stuff going on around the house. We've got 10,000 different things that I'm trying to take on right now at work. And like I drove over 1,100 miles in the last like week and a half. So I have been butt and seat, you know what I mean? Back and forth with the trolling motor. Rachel, hello, Rachel, everybody, Rachel, yeah, you better be. I was gonna say, Rachel, you better have a gold wrench there. It's another one of the superstars. Shout out to the superstars in the chat, guys. Rachel, hey, Kristen J. Those are my two of my superstars that moderate some of y'all's content because you know you guys are always coming out there a little crazy. No, I'm just kidding. You guys are really good. I appreciate that, man. It's not a really rough job sitting over here and looking for show hides. So that's a plus. Trust me. Some channels, man, they struggle. Coastal Fever showing up. What's going on, bud? You guys, Coastal Fever right here. He said, just got home. Hey, Beers. Hey, Coastal Fever. Jeff says that's what happens when you buy a boat. Jeff, you're not kidding, bud. So, guys, check it out. It looks like I get to pull 10-gauge wire through the boat. I've already moved into that, so it looks like we're going to have to re-pull 10-gauge wire. I'm going to have to run a circuit breaker for the 24-volt power supply that's coming off the batteries. After I run the new circuit breaker, after I pull the new wires, then I got to install the new trolling motor. I'm sure we'll do that live. You guys know me. I'll pull wires live. We'll make this whole adventure live. Guys, I got to hook up on the aluminum J channel. Now I've got measurements. I got to do a little layout. All right. And we're going to flush mount all these covers. We are going to redeck this bad boy, hopefully over the Christmas break. Not that I take a Christmas break, but it's going to make me feel good to say that I'm taking a Christmas break. But I'm going to try to do some real magic, you guys, and really, and maybe even possibly finish up this deck before the beginning of next year. I should have some tournaments coming around. I've been kind of slacky on that. I haven't been going through and looking at what the local registrations are like. I've just been so slammed up, you guys. I really have been slammed up. So now for story time. Guys, what happened to the good old days of every cast was a giant fish? Do you think overfishing has turned a lot of our fisheries into just chaos? The relocation, the constant relocation of fish. That's kind of what I wanted to talk about. It is Rachel. This time of year is busy time, and that's one of the reasons why like everything's going so slow for me mentally, as far as like pulling the trigger on the trolling motor. Just so you guys officially know, I have not ABA. Thank you, Kenny. That was one of my sites that I need to get myself checked into. I haven't pulled the trigger on the trolling motor, guys, and I'm going to tell you why I haven't pulled the trigger on the trolling motor. Honestly, I haven't pulled the trigger on the trolling motor because we just hit November, and I know that somebody's going to throw out an early Black Friday, 20% or $10 or $20. I know it. I've signed up for 4 or 5 different places to buy this trolling motor now. That's why I've been checking through my emails, because it's one of those situations where the first one that gives me like the best discount going into this, quote unquote shopping Friday, I'm banging on it. You know what I mean? I'm pulling the trigger. I've already got the Minn Kota, the Fortrex 80, 24 volt, already in 3 different carts. Did I mention I'm a procrastinator when it comes to carts, you guys? I don't know if I ever told any of you guys this, so we're going to talk about this, guys. I have a terrible habit. Okay, my terrible habit is I put like 10,000 things in carts on websites and then just leave them up as browsers. Like I have browsers. Every time I turn my computer on and it says, "Do you want to reload your browser history?" I'm like, no. No, I don't even want to see some of the things that I have put in carts this time of year, because it's getting a little ridiculous here. Not that I'm buying any of it. I guess you could say I'm like the safest shopper you ever met, because as to where there's like $20,000 in carts worth of stuff that I want, some stuff I'll never even think to buy, but nonetheless, like it's in the cart somewhere as like a saved item or something. You guys know what I'm talking about. It's all dreams. It's all dreams. It's all things that one day I will end up buying at some point. If Oprah and Tom Cruise and everybody pulls for me, I will definitely make sure that I start investing in some of these. One of them is not any kind of power poles, because I've decided this boat just can't do it. When I get through pulling all this wire and stuff and setting up this new trolling motor, new depth finder, we're gonna move into things. I don't think I'm gonna pull a depth finder for a little while. I think I'm gonna wait till like maybe my birthday in May to get myself something really nice, and then this way I like saved up and made it all exciting. You guys know what I'm talking about. You got to save up and make it exciting. See, Shawanda knows what I'm talking about. Shawanda said she does the same thing. Look, right there's Shawanda's comment. She says she does the same thing. There's nothing weird about that. What's going on, Gary? Look, I really don't think there's anything weird about having like 1,500 different items in carts, because some of that stuff, man, you never know. You never know. It might be a big deal. It might end up turning into like I find it on a discount on another site and I go ahead and pick it up over there. I'm kind of bad about that. Like, I don't know. I like to save money. If you're like me, stick a 1 in the chat if you like to save money. That's what anchors are for. Jeff nails it. What's going on, Jeff? Bass Queen says, my cottontail was a guarantee 3-pounder every trip. People have ripped out all the cover and destroyed the fishing. That's where I got my PB from. See, and that's the whole thing that I was just talking about, Bascomine. We're coming into that time of year where, like, I'm starting to notice even in my local, but we just recently sprayed out here on Harris, guys. That's why you're not seeing me run out and just taking a trip on Harris. The channel is like muck central. I really don't want to go out on the big lake without a trolling motor because it's not fun. You know, the big lake it's a big lake for a reason. Now, I found some other smaller lakes I want to try to ride around. Like, I can't wait. I got to check it out, see if I have any signal. I know 2 of them. I know I don't have signal, and I only see like 1 or 2 boats out there a week, but it's the same 1 or 2 boats. So I'm really kind of wondering, like, do these guys know something that nobody else is figuring out, or is just that lake just that bad that those guys just don't want to give up because they live on it? I don't know, but some of those places look real fishy, and these are like smaller lakes that I know aren't getting sprayed, so I'm kind of thinking those might be the kind of spots that I start hitting just to see what's out there, man. I mean, it can end up being a super grind, you know what I mean? I don't know where to get a fish forecast on these things, but if I can find myself some kind of fish forecast on some of these things, it'll definitely, you know, it'll make me more excited than just going out there based on our app, you know what I mean? You guys know what I'm talking about. Anybody tried the app, by the way? Anybody? Guys, I've been looking at the app, and really I'm looking at, like, it's just about 5, which in my opinion 5 just means you can go out and cast all day, and yes, you're gonna catch fish, but it's not gonna be that like 9.6 epic day that we're all waiting for, because I don't think those are ever gonna come. Robert went fishing. Robert, what'd you get? Did you catch any fish, or are you just out there casting for the day, bud? Because I got a feeling if I go right now, based on what I'm seeing, I'm gonna be casting all day, unless I go out to the big lake. And if I go out to the part of the big lake, there won't be any signal. It'll just be me filming, pulling the anchor up for like 2,000 hours basically. I really don't want to show you guys what it looks like with me pulling the trolling motor, or the trolling motor. Yeah, God, look at me throwing the trolling motor in there. I really don't want to show you guys what it looks like when I pull the anchor up for 10 hours. You know what I'm saying? That just does not sound like the kind of fishing trip that I want to be on. I don't know. Do you ever bank fish? Yeah, oh, of course, Robert. I love bank fishing. I have a ton of bank fishing videos, man. A ton of bank fishing videos of me pulling fish, fishing around the banks and stuff like that. Those are some of my favorite times. Right now, man, I'm just not. I get home and I'm so beat up, and then I'm basically just playing around on my websites, looking at who's cheaper, and then procrastinating on pulling the trigger. And then by the time I get all that thought processes and I start going through all the different websites that I'm looking at my trolling motors on, I just go sit in the living room. I do. I can't lie. It's just overwhelming to me. It's way too overwhelming for me to go in and do that. You know, that's a good question. Do I ever do any bank fishing? Man, I will say that I love bank fishing, and I'm not gonna lie to you. I think it's a lot of fun. If you find good areas, you can hit some pretty good bank fishing time. So hold on, you guys. Let's do this. Let's go in here, and we will pull up some bank fishing videos. Oh, let's go the other way. Let's go the other way, you guys. Hold on. Let's see what you guys are doing. Let's pull up the chat real quick. Let you guys yak it up a little bit. What do we got going on? All right, let's go check out this bank fishing thing. Now that this thing's gotten all crazy on me, I have no idea what's going on here, guys. Here we go. That's it. Let's go to the old channel. Nice. Nailed it. Let's see some of the old bank fishing videos, man. I've been known to catch some fish on bank fishing videos. Excuse me. Hold on. Oh, here we go. Bank fishing. All right, here. We'll watch a video. Hold on, you guys. All right, I should be back any second now. Got him. There it is. Got him. Guys, I caught that one from all the way over there on the other side. Oh, watch this. This is the worst day ever.
Come on.
Now, guys, mind you, there's a lot of contemplating going on right now because just off that bank, as you guys can see right up in this area here, right behind my left shoulder, that appears to be some pretty high vegetation. Now, when you look down in there, it's like, oh, that's probably a foot and a half, you know, maybe 18 inches max. Yeah, all right, just keep watching, guys, because right now I've got this fish hooked, and unfortunately, I've got him hooked in these lily pads, and I'm just not one of those guys, man. I won't let it go. Do the old wiggle wiggle trick. You tighten down some drag. You guys know.
Swim away, bud.
Swim away.
All right, folks, we're going in.
That's right, boys. You know what time it is. Shoes are coming off.
Choice. Okay, looks like everything's good. Whoa.
And that was waist deep.
Come on, bud.
Scoping for gators. I do not advise this, guys. Do not do this. Not in Florida. It's dangerous to do this kind of stuff.
There we go. Nice. Yeah, baby.
The guy in the truck was laughing.
You're great, man.
I seen the guy in the truck over there. He was dying. He was like, that is the funniest thing to see that guy just walk out in the water.
Good job, little guy.
Yeah, so that was one of my bank fishing adventures, man. Hold on, let me... All right, that's stopped now. Yeah, so that was one of my bank fishing adventures, man. I do a lot of, you know, you never know what I'm going to end up doing. You really don't. Let me see. Let me see another. Here you go. I went out and hit this one. This one was a lot of fun. Here, we'll watch this one together. See that little jerky pause? I don't know what that is, but something was going on with my GoPro back then.
That's a good one. Nice.
Again, on the far side of the bank.
Oh, yeah, look at this, guys. Woohoo! Look at here. See, man?
That's literally on the side, like on the side of the road on the way home.
There.
I just pull over and fish it.
All right, big guy.
They get so mad. I don't know why they get so mad, you guys. They get all fired up. You know what I mean? Crazy fishes. Yeah, I like bank fishing, man. I'm going to get into doing some bank fishing here soon. The only thing is, man, I don't know. It's just not the same. I got the boat, and I'm excited about the boat, and I really want the boat to be the day. You know, you never know. You just never know. All right, let's see what we got here. My chat froze. Sorry, guys. Bass in a pond, 4 pound. Nice. No choice but to bank fish for now. Still working the elusive bass boat. Right now, I'd be happy with a canoe. Yeah, Bass Queen. Listen, I elevated into a whole nother expense here, just so you know. The bass boat's not all it's cracked up to be. Last time I went bank fishing, the friends got me bad. The fire ants. Oh, no, that's terrible, Scott. Yeah, you see them mucker waders I wear, bud? Yeah, invest in some of those, man. Those are the ones you want. Trust me. Only one that's buffering. Probably Jeff. Probably the only one that's buffering. Why my husband loves me. Oh, in the water fish for expensive lures. Missouri don't have gators. Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, there's some baits that I might just jump in to go get. I know I get a little sentimental with mine. Scott said, hit the like. Thanks, Scott. Nice fish. Appreciate that, man. It's cool up here. Iowa, Ohio. Yeah, oh, I'm sure. I don't think I'd be jumping in the water up there either, guys. I really don't think I'd be jumping in the water up there. Oh, look at that. I can move this on the chat and point. Oh, look at guys. Oh, boy. We found new buttons. We have found new buttons, boys. Yeah, so like I said, man, I don't know. I've been wanting, last week I wanted to go out and do a little bank fishing. I checked the app and it said it was a 4.8, and I was like, you know what? I don't even think I want to go out there and grind on it. Like, I'm starting to get a little spoiled here. I'm hoping this app ain't misguiding me or misleading me here. You know, watch out for the barricade, huh? Oh, there's a barricade in there, huh? What about belly tubes? You know, I've been thinking about that. Guys, I've been looking at a lot of different baits, man. A lot of different baits. And I put something together, though. And I got to tell you guys this. So hold on a minute, because this is going to make a lot of sense when I tell you. Hold on, I got to get one. I'm going to show you. All right, guys, so remember the other day when we had the little bait tank in here, right? And we were doing the bait buoyancies and things like that, and we were looking at the different buoyancies of bait. And you guys remember we had we brought out the Zoom Vibe Speed Worm. Remember that? The one with the funny tail? Had like that hook tail. And remember when we laid it in the tank and for some reason, all that was buoyant was that tail? So I got to thinking about it the other day, and I was like, man, why is it that I have like 500 of these worms that the tail has been bitten off? You know what I'm saying? Can you guys see that? The tail's gone, right? So yeah, and I started thinking about it. I was like, I got a whole bag of these things, man. And for some reason, every time I turn around, they just want to bite the tail off. Well, and then I got to thinking about it, man, and I was like, remember when we did that last video and we showed it in the live tank and we let it hit the bottom? The only thing that was sticking up was the tail. And I came to the conclusion, guys, the reason the tails are getting bit off is because that's the only thing the fish realizes maybe that is part of the bait itself. And I think that might be why they grab the tail so often, is because when we looked at the buoyancy of that bait, remember, it just laid there. It literally just laid there, and the only thing that had any kind of wiggle was just that tail sticking up, the smallest amount. And now that totally makes sense. What's up, Arif? That totally makes sense on why that I have 900 of these baits with no tails. Because that's the part that the fish is grabbing up. And then usually when the fish has got his mouth on it and he starts to move with it, if he hasn't really bit on the fatty portion, you know, the meat where the hook is exposed, granted, this thing literally was just, remember you guys, it was just laying in the water, and the only thing that was going up was this little tail, and it was just looking like this. You guys can barely see that. But anyway, so that's what ends up getting bit, man. So I switched it up. I'm going to switch it up. I'm going to get a little crazy. I've been thinking, I don't think I'm going to roll the mag speed worms anymore. And I know what you're thinking. Like, wait a minute, man. Them things, that's the fire. I agree, they're fire. But my issue's coming down to like why they keep getting struck in the tail. So I showed you guys these before. I'm going to show you guys these again because I'm really thinking about bringing these things out. And of course, guys, you know me, you got to have them in every color that they make. You understand what I'm saying? I can show you guys, I got boxes and boxes of these things, dude. You have no idea. But I'm going to switch it up, you guys. I've finally come to the conclusion that I think I'm still going to stick with a 6-inch, all right? 6-inch worm. I know what you're thinking. You don't do big worms. Okay, all right, I do. All right, I do. It's just the tails get bit off, so I don't like using big worms. You know what I mean? Kristen J says she's doing good, thanks, except no trick-or-treaters. Imagine that. So guys, So check this out, you guys. So this is the Fatty Turbo Z, or Turbo Fatties. That's what this is. That's Turbo Fatties. This is in pearl. I'm going to show this in pearl because I think it's going to be a lot easier. All right, guys, take a look at this tail, man. Look at this thing. It's ribbed for the fish's pleasure, just so, I mean, we're all straight on that. But look at that crazy tail. Now, they say this thing is scientifically designed for kicking and stuff like that. Stinger time, huh? They say this thing's specially designed to have an interesting flutter. But as we know, guys, with these buoyant baits, this thing's going to sit up in the water, something like this. And as it's falling, this tail's, I mean, you can see this thing's wiggling. I'm just trying to hold it steady, and I've got the old tweaker twitch. John, you see this? But I'm waiting. I think this is where I'm going to head. This is the direction that I'm going as far as when I start working big worms. I think I'm going to go ahead and stick me on like an 1/8 ounce or maybe a 1/16 ounce bullet weight, peg it with a green little glass eye bead to give it a little ticky cracky poppy. And I think I'm going to start rolling these the same way that I roll those big baits. I think I'm going to have more success just because of the durability on these. I got some special hooks coming. I'm trying some different hooks. I want to see how this works out. I'm a little excited about it, but at the same time, I'm a little nervous about the new hook design. I'll show you guys all that stuff when the bait order comes in. We'll do an unboxing and stuff like that and give you guys a good time. We'll see what I'm buying and what I'm doing, and then we'll actually go out and use it once in a while, which is something that a lot of people don't realize that I do. But I go out and use like all kinds of baits. I'll throw whatever for however many hours. But guys, Turbo Fatties. Just so you know, I want to see comparatively pound for pound. I know what you're thinking. Well, if you're going to go pound for pound, you got to match color. Yeah, I agree. Hold on one second. I'll show you. I know, Arif. It does. It looks like Moby Dick. It's interesting, isn't it? So I'll show you. They got these things in watermelon red, green pumpkin red. They got them in all kinds of colors. The other thing I'm getting ready to switch up to you guys. See, I don't want to give away any of this stuff. We're gonna have a whole episode on this stuff once I get the new bait order that I just made secretly that nobody knows I bought. I do that a lot. I tend to find myself closing the deal on old bait buys, you guys. I don't have a problem buying baits, but look at this, you guys. Boy, if that's not a watermelony red, I don't know what is. Look at that, you guys. That is good. Look at, oh, again, ribbed. Now, guys, okay, so we're gonna talk about the ribs because I know you guys. I know it's gonna sound crazy, but I'm gonna tell you guys what I realize with these ribs. When you get these ribbed baits, and that thing's ribbed all the way down, just so the whole shaft is ribbed, just so we're clear. They tend to trap oxygen when you cast them. So all those little appendages that you've seen hicking off, the little ticklers, those little ticklers just basically trap air bubbles and then release them as your bait falls. And then that gives the appearance of maybe a fish pushing something out of its gill plate and just adds a little bit more. Trust me, fish react to weird things. Bubbles, one of those things that fish react to. We talked about that the other night with the needle, you know, when we were learning about little hacks and stuff like that. But I'm thinking about replacing the... Now, that's not to say I'm not going to bring the Mag Speed Burner Worm. Okay, that's not to say I wasn't going to bring them, but I'm definitely going to make sure I bring a couple of these things out, all right? Just for my own good, because I want to check these things out, man. These things have been all the rage. I almost gave away what baits I've got ordered, guys. I got a lot of stuff ordered. It's not a lot of stuff, but I'm trying some different hooks. I'm going to try some different baits. A couple of different techniques for this time of year that I think are going to be pretty effective. I'm really excited about talking to you guys about those, but I don't want to tell you what they are without being able to show them to you, because that's kind of not fair. You know what I mean? I don't want to leave you guys hanging. Other than that, guys, once we get done pulling wires, once we get the final deck area built, because this is the thing, I haven't gone out and bought the welder yet. I've got to buy an aluminum welder. I found a place to buy the aluminum channel really cheap. The guy's really going to hook me up. He even told me he'd build it for me for a minimal fee. Listen, you start talking fees, I'm like, I don't know about all that, bud. I might just be better off spending $800 to get me a whole welding setup, because I can learn how to weld and save $400 compared to you doing it for me for 12. So I got to look into all that. John, I'm still meaning to hit you up on the email. I'm sorry, but I'm not good at this stuff. No, I'm just kidding. I've been really inundated with other stuff that's going on, you guys. I have 10,000 different angles that I run out in, and sometimes I just literally collapse on myself to the point where I don't even want to deal with any of that stuff right now. You know, I'd rather just take an hour and sit on the couch and just stare at the box in front of me and then go to bed. You know, some nights are like that. Like, you know, I'll be out on some other live channels and stuff and go right to sleep. Drive by fishing. That's what I do. I drive by that spot. I'll just get out and go throw a pole in it, man. I will. I've been known to do that. But, you know, like I said, guys, we're going to have some new techniques for summertime. We're going to have some new techniques as far as the spawn goes. So that's why I'm kind of moving into buying some of my spawn technique baits to show you guys. I know I've got to replace a bunch of them because I've just burned some of them right up. But we're going to do some neat stuff. We're going to talk about some real neat techniques that for spawn season, that when you find bedding fish, these things tend to draw their attention. They tend to draw their attention, and that's kind of important. Make fishing golf, huh? So you mean just, you know, be out on the golf course? I wish. That'd get me in a lot of trouble. A lot of the golf courses around where I am, they're pretty strict about that, man. They're really strict. But again, I talked to that guy and he never got back to me about fishing the golf courses in my local area, so I might have to beat that bush again. But that would have been more of a situation if I didn't have the boat. You know, right now I'm trying to deal with all that. And again, like I said, I'm learning all kinds of new stuff about how this stuff's supposed to be wired up and how it wasn't. So I've got to redo a lot of stuff for my own safety, because the last thing we need is another boat fire. Welding ain't easy. Well, listen, Robert, nothing's easy until you spend hundreds of hours learning how to do it. And I have watched probably more YouTube videos on aluminum welding right now than half these welders spend in school. Like, I've really been focused on this temperature, how to do this, and because I really want to build a nice pop-up frame into covered, you know, compartments on the boat, and I know how to do it. I've been looking at it. I can get sheet metal and I can build this thing. It's going to be light. I don't have to worry about any of that. I just think it'll be really nice to have a nice complete deck, you know, one piece front, flush mount lids, so I can get in all my areas. I won't have to worry about stepping over them. There'll be new lids, so I won't really have to worry about falling through them. Then I can also focus more on, you know, the survivability of the boat, because I'm probably going to have it for several years, you know, but I want to be able to fish it more comfortably, for sure. Right now, fishing it's a little uncomfortable on the front of the boat. It's a smaller deck. I've only got a couple of feet. On the back of the boat is a lot of deck, but it's a lot of lids and covers, and I worry about standing back there because I don't want anybody to fall through it. You know, that's not going to be fun. Nobody needs to fall through anything. My son has a golf course at his apartment and has to have been switched at birth because he won't let me sneak onto fish. Yeah, it's not your kid. Just so we're clear, that's not your kid. I'm sorry to say it, Bass Queen. I didn't want to break it to you, but
Excuse me, it's ma'am. It is ma'am.
It's ma'am. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm just messing. I'm just kidding. It was a funny ha-ha. So other than that, man, you guys, seriously, it's been rough, man. It's been rough. What have you guys been doing? Talk to me. Somebody say something cool. Do something neat. Dance. Somebody dance. Oh, Robert's talking about jumping from pond to pond. Oh, I get it, Robert. Yeah, no, I hear you, man. I got little lakes. I live in a place cleaning up for me. Yeah, Scott, you're still struggling. You're still going through it down there, man, huh? Whew. I feel for you, brother. If there's anything that you guys need from North Florida, let us know, and you know we could probably get some stuff down there to you. I think you guys are doing a pretty fantastic job down there on your own, though. You know, really showing through down in South Florida, letting everybody know. It'll be years. Yeah, I know, and that's rough, man. See, Robert worked on pipelines. See, there you go, Robert. See, but Robert, I think with aluminum welding, man, I think what I'm realizing, it's a lot lower temperature. There's not as much material bonding as there is with your heavier gauge steels and stuff like that. Aluminum seems to be more of a finesse welding technique, from what I'm gathering. I could be totally wrong. I could be missing the mark here, and you can come out and be like, dude, that's the hardest thing in the world to weld. And I'll be like, not according to the dude on YouTube. You know? Yeah, no kidding, Scott. No kidding. Scott nailed it right there with thank God for our governor. Yeah, man, we're pretty fortunate right now, bud, and it's right around that season. Not to talk politics, but I think we've been doing a pretty good job down here in Florida, and just, you know, in my personal opinion, I don't think we need to change it. We got a lot of stuff going on right now, though, guys. We really do. We've got a ton of stuff going on right now in Florida, and I don't know why. It just seems I think it's the anticipation of the holidays. We've got Christmas coming up. I've got a wedding this month. I've got a wedding next month. I've got Christmas next month. I've got Thanksgiving this month. Pine Island Bridge reopened in 4 days. Santa Barbara, I know, unbelievable work down there. Whole bridges. I mean, that's a massive accomplishment considering what they take, like 12 years to build it under contract. But you know, imagine that. No, I'm just kidding. That's not true. I don't know how long it took to build that thing. Okay, but all I'm gonna tell you is, as far as recovery goes, Florida's leading the way and showing. I mean, I was out in Louisiana, and that was years and years and years. And I mean, Florida, we're talking about having things on the up and up here by the end of the year type of thing, like regularity. That's not going to rebuild houses that quick, but nonetheless, you know, we've had infrastructure built that took years, and we've done it in weeks, which that's the ultimate show of manpower right there. Carrie Lake was on Joe Pog's show today. No kidding, Reef. I don't know who Joe Pags is. Joe Pagliano, maybe? I don't know. Streambot kicking in there. Oh, it's thinner? It's thinner, Robert? They didn't make it as big as the previous bridge? Look, there's a bridge, okay? That's the most important thing. There's a bridge. You can get to Sanibel Island now. Yeah. But I might do some bank fishing. We'll see. I got my son. We're going to do some stuff this weekend. We don't have any projects or anything like that to do. So he's going to help me around the house. We got a bunch of stuff we got to do around the house. I got to take care of 10,000 different things. Pool's going down. It's not really going down. It's just I've got to get back on the pool. It's that time of year. Get ready to shut it down because I don't really... We have a heated pool. I don't want to do that in the winter. Like, I don't really think that there's necessarily... Like, when the ambient temperature outside starts to get, like, 55 and 60 degrees, nothing says I want to go swimming about that temperature. Like, personally, I would rather, if it was like that, just go to the springs, and then the constant 72 cost me $0, so that's, like, perfect, you know? And a lot of the springs are real cheap, and if you're really into swimming in the winter, which I personally am not, I'm a desert guy, trust me, it could be 115. I won't break a sweat. But if you get me down in like 72, I'm like self-induced hypothermia. I will start shaking like there's no tomorrow. Even in the dead summertime, I cannot swim in the springs down here, you guys. I can't swim in the swings. I really can't. It's too much for me. It's too much for me, man. I just, I don't know. I get cold. I get really cold and like start like season. And that's no fun for me at all. No fun. Not a good time. You guys, again, what's everybody been doing, man? What's everybody been doing? What are you guys doing? Is anybody really focusing on fishing right now? Or are y'all kind of like stuck in the holiday rut? Because I'm telling you, man, between the big meteor for Halloween, I don't know. It's been real weird. Everything's getting crazy. I feel like I'm exhausted all the time, but I'm not doing anything that I'm not normally doing. It might be age. It might be age catching up with me, and that won't be much fun for any of us. I don't enjoy getting older. I'm starting to realize that men are like a cheese, and the longer cheese ages, the worse it smells and is not as appearance, you know, it doesn't give that alluring appearance, or that we're getting to be grumpy old men. You know, we're literally getting to be grumpy old men. I watched some of my old videos. I'm like, look how young I looked. I'm thinking, that was just 3 years ago. I didn't look that young. I looked kind of the same as I look right now. Beard was a bit shorter, but nonetheless, I mean, that's all I'm doing is just growing a beard. To be honest with you, it feels like that's all I'm doing. Growing a beard, man. Just growing a beard. Electric too much. Yeah, you're not telling me, Robert. I actually have some of the highest electric bills in the state where I live, so I hear you. I had a big lunch today, and I'm feeling like a stuffed turkey right now. A reef, good for you. I like when big lunches are eaten. We got 4 inches of snow the day we got to North Dakota. Still got 3 days of fishing. Wow, North Dakota's got snow coming in already. Goodness, you guys. See, this is what I'm talking about. I couldn't handle that. I could not handle going back in the cold anymore. I had a hot tub year round. Yeah, see now, Robert, that might be something. I would never get out of it. See, that's the thing. It's that whole getting out of it. That's what terrifies me, because the reality of the weather, now I better have like some kind of thermal space blanket or something for when I get out, because I'm going to tell you, my body reacts to the temperature. Not up. Bring it. 145, let's do it. You know, you start getting below 72, I'm like, all right, I'm layering up, boys. You know what I mean? Like, you'll see me. I look like the kid in A Christmas Story when I come out of the house to go to work. I can't move my arms. You guys know what I'm talking about. Can't stay out of the weather up there, that's for sure, Robert. And you can't stay out of the weather anywhere, man. You know, down here, like I said, we're getting ready. This morning it was 61 or 62 when I got to work, and then it was 81 by noon, and the worst part about it was it said 81 feels like 92. And I was like, wait a minute, man. Either it's 81 or it's 92. What does this feels like? When do we start feeling the temperature? Well, it feels like 92. Okay, well, Ralphie, there you go. Rachel knows. No, Ralphie's little brother, not Ralphie. Ralphie wasn't dressed up like that. His little brother was, and he looked like a starfish. You know what I mean? He was a starfish. That was the best, dude. Yeah, the humidity. That's what it is, Scott. That's exactly what it is, man. But it is a beast, bud. It is, oh my God, it's driving me crazy. They stock trout in the lake by me. Ooh. So, Robert, you're going to go fishing. You're going to be doing some fishing. If I were you, I would be making the attempt at some of them trout, man. You never know what's running around in them waters then. Funny, seems like I don't feel hot or cold when I have my fishing pole in my hand. Amen, Bass Queen. Listen, put your hand on the screen for me. Just put your hand on the screen for me. Oprah Winfrey, Tom Cruise. If either of you guys could grant me the serenity of a double-digit bass by the end of this year, I won't say another bad word online again. Amen. So now that we got that all out of the way, guys, and we all got our special prayer in there, I'm wishing a 10-pounder on every one of you guys. I am looking for double digits on every one of you guys. Fragile, it is Italian. Robert's going tomorrow. There you go, bud. That's what I'm talking about. I thought about going fishing today. I can't lie. I think about going fishing every day. I get off of work, I'm like, I should just hook the boat up and go. Then I remember I don't have a trolling motor, and I'm like, well, let me check the lake on the way home. And then as I'm driving home around the lake, don't forget the holy water. Yeah, Scott, you need whatever you got. You can call it holy water. You can call it 151. Whatever floats your boat, bud. You know, if it gets you through the fishing day, cheers, buddy. You know what I'm saying? Oh, sorry, guys. Yeah, like I said, whatever gets you through the fishing trip, man. Realistically, though, it is funny how your attitude does really, really change when you're out there fishing. And I think that's the problem. I think I'm just overwhelmed. You know what I mean? I've got so much stuff going on and so many little things that I shouldn't even be dealing with, but I like procrastinate. Like I said, again, the Trollomotor thing. You'd be surprised how much time this occupies of mine, because it's not a cost issue. I've already saved for this. I already knew it was going to be something that was going to need to be major, that needed to be replaced, and I had a feeling. So it's not the money, it's spending money. That's my issue. Like, I'm waiting, because this is my luck. Just so you guys know, this is my luck. My luck is such that every time I do something, I literally can go on the exact website that I bought it like 7 days later, and it's like half price. It happens to me every single time I buy a big ticket item, and it rips me apart. There'll be stocking trout here pretty soon at the local. Oh, look, see, Bass Queen's in the trout area too. See, these are important things. Now, trout are fun, you guys. Are you any of you guys fly fishermen? Honestly, do any of you guys fly fish? If you do fly fish, say something in the chat, because guys, I love fly fishing, and I would absolutely. Time never fails. Yeah, exactly, Shawanda. Used to. See, Scott used to do some fly fishing. Anybody else? Has anybody else ever tried fly fishing? Like, for real? It is, I'm telling you right now, if the vegetation wasn't the way, see, it's better to fly fish in the river, and I'll tell you why. Northern rivers especially. The vegetation doesn't get time to take them seat, so you're going to have scattered vegetation. The majority of what you're going to be dealing with in the heavy moving water is just rocks, so you're less likely to get hung up, right? So my point, that Florida I can't do it. I've caught one fish fly fishing down here. It wasn't on camera. It wasn't that big. It was just a little bass. He was about maybe this big, like my normal, okay, 8 to 10 inch dink. But I broke off like 3 other times on the smallest little stick, like the worst thing. It was absolutely ridiculous. I'm talking about sticks like this, boys. Like stick like this, like not even an eighth, maybe an eighth of an inch to 3/8 max. Not even, yeah, maybe a little bit more than a quarter sometimes, but like it just snaps them right off there. All you need here is a can of worms and just the right spot. Yeah, that works just about everywhere. You know, the old can of worms, and that's always fun. I miss bobber fishing. I might take the boy bobber fishing one day this weekend. I really want to take him out on the boat, but I don't want to take anybody on the boat with me until I get all these issues figured out. Jenny Lynn went out on a tester day with me. It was a nightmare. No, it really wasn't. The boat ran just fine. She was stoked. I was stoked. We had a good time. And then the Trollomotor fire occurred, so that was never fun. You know, that was probably the worst day ever. And that thing's still costing me money. But like I said, I'm going to get all the wires ran. I'm going to get all the correct breakers run. I'm going to get everything the way it's supposed to be as per the manufacturer's suggestion. I know, right? Like, what do they know? As if they built this thing. You know, we all know they didn't build it. They just put their name on the box. Come on. I know how this works. I put my name on boxes too. You know, I see what this does. They're not fooling me, you know what I'm saying? They're not fooling me at all, you guys. Let's see, what else we got going on? Other than that, guys, nothing really exciting, man. Like I said, I haven't pulled the trigger on the update I haven't pulled the trigger on the purchase of the Trollomotor. I'm gonna show you guys all that here real soon. As soon as I get that thing in, you know, I'm gonna go live, and probably we'll unbox that thing together, and then we'll go out in the driveway. We'll have a from the driveway mounting the Trollomotor video. Those are gonna be fun, just like we did with the change in the water pump video. 2.5, 3 hours later. It's hard to do it right. What's that? Put the Trollomotor on? I hope not. I hope the Trollomotor's not. Do I ever do ultralight fishing, Scott? That's funny you asked that, Scott. Hold on. Ultralight fishing is one of my favorite fishings, just so we're clear. This is a Lose Light speed spin called a ceiling fan. It's called a Laser Light, and this is a little 10 series. I got some 10-pound braid on there. 10-pound braid strength, 2-pound diameter. See my little bobber there? Got my little hooks. Yes, guys, I like ultralight fishing. This is one of my favorite types of fishing because this is something that I can go out with my son and we can really have a good time. I got him a nice little ultralight too, so everything feels like a giant. You know, every fish is a giant. My son actually caught like a 2-pound bass on his, and I let him sit there and just deal with it like the whole time. It was screaming, drag. He did, Dad, what do I do? I'm like, just reel, buddy. Just keep reel. Just reel through it, buddy. He's like, Daddy, it's not going anywhere. I'm like, you can do it. And I looked down and the cameras were off. They were off. Imagine that. My son's first bass. Where's Dad with the camera? Off. You had a guy make you a fly rod for a wedding present. Robert, nice job, man. Nice job. Yeah, I'm my rig, I got that NXT Black from Three Forks Outfitters, and that thing's I got an 8-pound fly float weight on there. That's my float line's 8 pounds, so I can do anything. I'm not fishing down south bass. I can tell you that right now. There's no way I'm fishing down south bass. But it's rated, the 8 pounds rated a small saltwater. So that would be considered like going out with a light, medium light on a saltwater set. Not that I'm going out for like tarpon or anything like that. But I could definitely fit in with some redfish and things. You know, we can get that going. I have a 2-pound test line, landed a 22-pound striped bass. Yeah, exactly, Scott. This is what I'm saying. That's what I was trying to show my son. You know, that fight is real, and sometimes you're under geared, you know, and sometimes you're over geared. But I wanted him to experience, you know, like my idea was he was going to experience some brim. So I had like this little tiny glow in the dark, like a 3/4 inch little minnow with a hook through its nose on a bobber, and I would tell him, just, you know, kind of bring it through the water. And man, I'll tell you what, he goes, Dad, my bobber's gone. I looked over, I was like, well, pull it up, buddy. And he pulled it up and he went ring, and it was on, dude. Like I said, I was more watching because I was waiting. I was at one point, I thought he was just gonna let it go. Like I thought because he was getting frustrated. It was just constant ping 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 the whole time he's reeling. It was just pinging through the drag, and I didn't want to reach down and tighten up the drag for him because then I worried about it breaking the line. He'd have been so upset with me, and I didn't want to experience that. So I just kind of let him have at it, man. He brought it in. I was really proud of him. But I think the ultralight's a good way to get kids involved myself. I think if you have kids, you definitely want them to experience fishing, and you want them to have a good time. Go light, man. Invest the money, buy a nice ultralight little setup, and let them have at it. My little Luz, I swear, every time I go for crappie or bluegill on, I get an 8-pound catfish. Yeah. Oh my God, I couldn't even imagine an 8-pound catfish on that little setup. Like I said, I watched him with that 2-pound bass, and it looked like he was down in South Florida running peacocks, man. I really thought he was running peacocks. It was screaming out, and I was thinking, well, he might have a giant gar. No, come to find out, he had him a bass, and I mean, he had it with the tiniest little hook, guys. It was not set up for any. He should not have even. I don't know how he caught that fish's lip in any way, shape, or form, but I was super proud of him. That little hook was so small, it was terrible. I felt like I was setting him up for failure. Like the whole time, I was like, this fish is just gonna shake it out, and he's gonna be like, I want to go home. I don't want to do this anymore. I want to fish today. And I was like, oh, that's all I was thinking. Like dad thoughts, like, oh my God, you know. It was fun. It was fun, Robert. You're absolutely right. It was a gas riot, man. It was good times. I got a lot of fishing trips with me and him. A lot of fishing trips, but nonetheless, you know, I forget to press that button on the camera. I forget to press that button on the camera, boys and girls. You know me, I get excited. I'm Mr. Camera Guy. 50,000 different camera angles, none of them recording. Like John said, 50 angles of the turd. Finding Nemo. Yeah, right, Arif? Yeah, I don't eat fish, Robert. You know, as funny as it sounds, I'm the fisherman that, listen, if we had to, if it was like, you know, end times, no, I'm definitely eating. My family's definitely eating. They're just not going to enjoy it because it's going to be fish. It's going to be fish just about every day. I can hunt too. I don't really have a problem with that, but where I live, hunting's not really going to be the best idea. There's not much area for the deers, but we got a lot of wetland. We got a ton of wetland, and a lot of it's offshore, so the old cast netters ain't going to get them all, boys. You ain't gonna get them all out here, guys. You know, thank goodness. Thank goodness. Well, guys, I appreciate everybody coming over and hanging out. Like I said, I want to get a chance to chat with all you guys because I have a lot of fun chatting with you guys. Now, I think this little addition right here is a little bit of fun, so that'll give us a good time. And next week, guys, we should have some gear coming in. I haven't checked my shipping dates yet. I got to check and see when things are getting shipped and when things are going to be delivered. But so hopefully next Tuesday we'll have some stuff to go over, guys. And we'll have another fun episode. So if you're new to the channel, if you haven't been here before and you're just finding finding the channel, finding out who I am and some of the stuff I do, don't forget to hit the button because there's always stuff coming out. But every Tuesday at 7:15, unless I have something, which I will reschedule the time, you'll see me right here on the Same Beards channel every 7:15 for another episode of Tackle Talk. Rod just got look at that. Well, welcome, Rod. I'm sorry you missed it, Rod. Next time we'll all hang out. Bass Queen, good to see you guys. And remember, guys, it's been real. It's been fun. We'll see you guys on the next one. See ya.